Yeah, I don't understand the obelisk either. Although it seems like the people who know how to use the obelisk, like, fucking love it. What's with the sudden yelling? Uh-oh. My gamepad's not working. Yep, gamepad just stopped working suddenly. What is the issue here? Oh, here we go. Now it's working again. That's more like it. Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases? Oh, well, sure. They totally ooze strange, like the color and the such. That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention. Ah, you're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper. Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator. Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong? She makes a good point. It'd be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something that's not quite right. What's so unusual about this suitcase?
Take that!
There's something very peculiar about these wheels. Huh? As in? As in, there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying. And... and so, it's very likely that this suitcase was placed here after we hit that turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? A media watcher. I would buy one just to paint over it. Fair enough. Oh my god. What? Okay, I thought that those were like deep-fried JPEGs. Now I see that they're like weirdly high-quality PNGs of like what appears to be a real animal. God. Yeah, it's even uglier up close. This was apparently designed by Miss Tenero herself. The design has a certain je ne sais quoi about it. Yes, perhaps that's the best way to put it. I like the rainbow text. I don't know. I don't know. There's just so many, like, bad color choices. Like, when they call it an eyesore, they really aren't joking. This is rough to look at. But, I will defend it based on one thing. It is actually better to have an ugly suitcase than a normal-looking one. Because if you have an ugly suitcase, you are going to recognize it immediately when you go to pick up your luggage. My suitcase is disgusting. It's this fucking black suitcase with, like, skulls. Like, skull patterns sticking out of it. It's ugly as hell, but I always know it when I see it. Or it's like, yep, that's my suitcase. It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. A piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood. Ah! It's blood! It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to a murder after all. Inhumane. Hey, nerd. So, explain this to me. What does the suitcase have to do with the murder? I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used this suitcase in some manner. Such as to move something, perhaps? But aren't you just talking about the cloth, then? That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used the suitcase to transport is...
Take that!
something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? But... in light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else. Which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location. So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it? Exactly. What is it? Nothing. Just that I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh wait, no, it's her. I thought it was the captain. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat. I understand his sentiments. However, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. Rhoda's hair is fucking crazy. Like, does she have tiny little boxes that she, like, wraps the hair around? Very questionable hairstyle. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. How do you do that? Yeah, good question. Again, I guess she has little square things that her hair just goes through. How long is your hair? I'd imagine if she wore her hair down, it would go down to, like, her back, probably. It's definitely longer hair to have a ponytail like that. Lots of hairspray. If that's your only condition, then I can believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together. I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge, and I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Meal reminded me about Miss Tenero, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. Oh, right. Salmonella has a cameo here. Which, like, shouldn't he be in, like, prison? Like, we got him as an accomplice to murder, didn't we? Did he flee the country? Like, what's going on? I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Tennero and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tennero in private. So I'm left wondering just what was she up to? Why did she do what she did? Parole? I guess? I don't know. There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth! Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I am needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma, the daughter of my mentor Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll just have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day. Then a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal. Have you no shame? When a disciple of the House Von Karma would become a criminal? Franziska, your dad shot my dad. What are you talking about? Wait, it all has been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding? I've heard all about the murder all over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death. Franziska, do you honestly believe that I killed a man? I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I've investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. That's as it should be. I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you, of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. Well, I have my own creed, which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I have no intention to. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir! Too slow. Ow! Listen up, I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand? Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him? A simple yes or no, detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. You just leave it to me. Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me. Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Franziska is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well, in that case, I have a few questions for you. I can't wait to play more Phoenix Wright with Shark. Hold on. The child seems to be happily enjoying the sight of so many planes. He must be deeply autistic. Wow, I'd love to take a run down that runway. Oh, the youth of today. So much potential, yet so misguided. Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before. Oh, it's Soviet Russia. World flag lunchboxes eat Jew. Found it, lol. Oh, I feel a wave of creative powers coming on. It's over 9,000 lols. For my next elite move, it's going to be the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo, versus the World Samurai, champion of the Earth. It's gonna rock soars so many box sores. So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. Leap? Yeah, that's salmonella for you. He absolutely reeks of a Discord moderator who's like in his 30s with an underage girlfriend. He has that exact vibe. He probably calls her his kitten. This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair. Oh, I did it. I made it the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. He must have been pretty scared. He's repeating the same thing over and over to himself. Lunchland. Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops. Yeah, I think Lunchland is like the brand Angel Star had in 1.5. If you don't remember, Angel Star was the so-called lunch lady. Her entire gag was giving people lunch boxes. It's kind of a weird gag, but yeah. What should I go with? I recommend our airport special World Flag lunch boxes. Only available for a limited time. Lunchly. No, not Lunchly! Not the mold! No! Did I just peek the mic? Looks like I did, but not because the mic's being weird. I just peeked it naturally. Oops. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags. I wonder if they're aiming to take Lunchland to the international market. Alright. It's gonna be funny when we get to Case 2. Or, not Case 2, Case 3 with Shark. He's not going to like salmonella. He's gonna be very much questioning why there's a character who talks like this. So how's the initial investigation going? Hey Quijibo, good to see you. Yep, we're still on Case 2 here. We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. Yeah, for full disclosure, we got up to we started Case 4 on the original Nintendo DS version. On the HD version, we are on Case 2. I, myself, have beaten the entire game twice, so I know everything that's going to happen. And we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Franziska. She always was good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was a little too quick, sir. I'm sure he'll love Lada. He's going to want to kill Lada. Oh, how so? Do you think he might like the BBW nun from 3.5? Sister Bikini? When next Ace Attorney with Shark have you talked? Well, yesterday didn't work out because Shark is still sick. I'm just kind of waiting on him to recover. When he starts feeling better, we will get back to Ace Attorney. Sister Bikini isn't black. I mean, doesn't matter. She doesn't need to be Lizzo. I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something, and had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Miss Von Karma just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details. It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, Detective. Although I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. There's the captain. So, you must be the captain. Why, yes, I am. And who might you be? I am the prodigy prosecutor, Franziska von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, Captain. Getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. This is bizarre. This is not an appropriate, like, work relationship. I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure you don't want to talk to the Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I like to leave that type of witness to Franziska and her whip. Ah! I like that steak is still there, with one slice missing and, like, one bite out of the bread. Like, the weird fat kid, like, left the flight already, but, like, just the infinitely replenishing steak and bread is just still there. Now see here! Ah! Sorry. I'm sorry! How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you! That Borginian man has to take a fat shit. Yeah, it really looks it. Oh, God. Sorry, I just remembered when I had, like, fucking, like, tore myself open on, well, whatever. Oh, it is you. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Me too? Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone. It was very, like, just one time. It was insanely painful. I don't know why it was so big. Did you finish taking a statement yesterday? Yep, all done, sir. I do not concern if you are not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. Gotta eat fiber. I think my diet was, like, high fiber back then, actually. Oh, you guys just reminded me of a funny story. When I was a kid, my mom got these juice boxes that were high in fiber. I was having, like, some sort of intestinal issue, but, like, nobody told my Uncle Mark that the juice boxes were high fiber, and he drank, like, 5 of them. Oh, boy. I do not concern if you're not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Alright. Yeah. My uncle is no longer with us. He, like, died of alcoholism. But yeah, that was, like, kind of an interesting story. Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of arts. Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat. It kind of looks like that other piece of cloth. I actually have two uncles who died of alcoholism, but I was only close with one of them. The other uncle I was genuinely just kind of not fond of. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it is Borginian cloth. As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose. Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous. Orders come from over the seas for more. Then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier? No, my cargo this time is much, many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of you police, it is no good. Spoilers, that fabric is made from goat pubes. Very mature, Kojibo. And it is no good that it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendance room too. That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenero. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendance room for her interview. And then, they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgebuff, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the corporation the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendants' room. Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Ugh. Hold on, my hair is getting in my face. Need to move it. Hey Elsa, how's my day been? Alright, I just feel a bit tired. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found. The only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. I want to see something. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. The likeliest suspect, Franziska. Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion.
Hold it!
You know, since I played this recently, I might just pull up a guide so I can, like, speedrun through this shit. I'm kind of tired of doing cases I've already done. Ugh. Okay, GameFAQs is being weird. Oh. Page unresponsive. Cool. Cool. Try strategy wiki. Alright. Oop. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit? I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. Hey, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. 3 hours! I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence! I see she hasn't changed a bit. But I wouldn't allow her to send me to prison so easily. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. Yeah, no, we kind of went over that already, Franzi.
Objection!
It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all.
Objection!
Now, who's the one Rashi jumping to conclusions? Excuse me. All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. A von Karma is perfect in every way. Is Franziska's voice different? What, my voice? Am I doing something differently? Hey, Croquet. I feel like my voice is consistent. Oh, when she said objection. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. They may have changed her VA between versions, who knows? You should know better than that. A von Karma is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know that the killer was definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
No, that sounds like Franz. That sounds like how she did in, like, Justice for All. As if that's proof of that. Where's the proof that the suitcase was moved around?
Take that!
You spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Where is the evidence that proves the killer dragged the suitcase through here?
Take that!
I have to use the bathroom. Be right back. That game TJ announced, Catly, is made with AI. Catly. I don't even remember that one. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I'm gonna shut the music off for a sec and look up this Catly thing you're talking about. No, I am not, November. Okay, yeah. I think I remember this looking like kind of AI looking. This did give me AI vibes, but I was kind of scared to say anything in case I was wrong. You got an ad? That sucks. Yeah, it does have intense AI vibes. Yep, that also looks so AI. Now that like it looked like it in the trailer for sure. But yeah, I remember this now. Painfully AI looking. Look at the dislikes. Can't wait to play this while eating lunchly, drinking prime, and smoking vapely. Yeah, the human looks pretty rough. Yep, that's AI. That is 1000%. Or wait, no, that's just. Is that just a screenshot? What the fuck? It's like the same screenshot, but a little different. That looks like AI. There's a lot of copy and pasted images I'm noticing, which is kind of funny. Hey, Shiz, no. If the clear use of AI in the footage, images shown hasn't convinced you enough to not drop a dime on this game, maybe I can lend some additional information that will. Thanks, November. On top of little to no information on what the game is and no real footage of what gameplay is like, the studio behind the game, Super Authentic Company, has nothing else to offer and leaves no digital footprints. From some digging before information was wiped, the creator behind Catly, Kevin Young, has engaged with crypto and NFTs. A previous assumedly defunct studio he was associated with, 10th Planet, developed games that were planned to be blockchain based. Don't let the cute cat visuals blindside you into what could very well just be a ripoff and waste of your money. Ha. Well, before I just believe a random thing I heard on the internet, let me look into this myself. Yeah, there's an article from The Gamer. Yeah. Alright. But who made Catley? Okay, there's someone on Reddit saying that it has ties to NFTs and blockchain shit. There's a Steam profile, super authentic. No other games under this name. Interesting. Okay. I am struggling to find anything about super authentic. There's a Catley page on Know Your Meme? Really? Hashtag Catley, hashtag the Game Awards, hashtag partner. Was Pokimane partnered with the Game Awards? Very saddening to see a space meant to showcase art pieces made by talented and hardworking artists being occupied by AI. I had no idea. Thanks for letting me know. Sadly, I found out too late, but I'll 100% look out for this when promoting games in the future. Weird. There's a thread. Oh, wait, is that the same fucking person? No. This is. Or wait. Fox VTuber. Okay, I'm not sure it's the same person, but this person has some sort of thread about it, apparently. So I decided to do some research into the studio that made the obviously AI generated cat game shown at the Game Awards. So I did a little digging on the studio, Super Authentic, and found a name associated with it, Kevin Young, a man who heavily pushes NFTs and crypto. I will look up Kevin Young separately. Hey, Kurtwood. It's from Hong Kong. Wait, what? Anyway. In fact, this may not be the first time they tried releasing a game before. releasing game. Before they tried under a studio named 10th Planet, which was basically a studio which developed blockchain games. Mech Angel. I feel I should mention that Kevin Young tried to hide everything, but you can't get past me. Okay, he nuked his LinkedIn. That's funny. Wonder if I can find an archive of that shit. Someone arrived through YouTube. Scroll up. That's funny. Oh, do you mean in YouTube chat? Oh, sorry. Good afternoon. Have you heard of that new animated series on Netflix called Gentry Chow versus the Underworld? No, I have not. I'm not sure what that is. Sorry, I forgot to open YouTube chat. My bad. Okay. Well, whatever. Seems they're going out of their way to hide stuff, like they hid the fashion collection on their site. Catley Fashion Collection, a refined selection of cloth and accessories that redefine sophistication. Okay, this is like a scam. This feels so fucking scammy. Oh my god. Did the Game Awards just advertise a scam? Credit to Yutso Rocks. Yeah, it's the exact same person. Mech Angel, copyright Alien Meow, copyright Cat Lee, super authentic Cat Lee, yeah. They trademarked Cat Lee and Mech Angel, and Mech Angel is apparently an NFT game. Video has been removed by the uploader. And interestingly, it says it has NFT support. Hmm. Yep. Yeah. It wasn't that hard to figure it out that it was like AI. Like, it immediately kind of reeked of that AI look to it, even though, like, nothing looked malformed. Everything just looked very AI. So this has like the same fuzziness for some reason. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. We get no recognition whatsoever for 9 souls, but the NFT scam game is a different story. This mark here, wouldn't you say that it looks suspiciously like tracks from 2 wheels? I suppose. Further, there is also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. Hold on, I need to pull Discord up. I need to, like, keep an eye on the time a bit. Alright, we got like 1 hour before I'm supposed to be on for that other stream. I suppose this means that the killer did not move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses. Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear, not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hits that turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then, while you were here in the elevator, with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hits that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? Then I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop.
Objection!
The fact you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Captain Hugo piggy bank, it's just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then, what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick up the bank from off the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackby Hicks. Shout out to Dedgeworth over there. It's kind of a funny sprite. Especially in black and white. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackby Hicks. Why didn't I see the emote? Yeah, I think he spelled it wrong, Electrica. You there! Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lounge, or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. and the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end. She's so tiny. Yeah, Franziska is a pretty small person from the look of her. Man. Man, she is really short. She looks like a small child. She's like 17. She was 18 in Justice for All. Yeah, she's 19 here, which, for a 19-year-old, that's still very small. I guess she's just a short queen. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end. Well, it's possible it's just hidden somewhere, sir. Eek! If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Yeah, I was literally talking to Shark about that, because, like, I still remember when he, like, flipped his shit over Edgeworth being a prosecutor at 20, where he's like, that's not possible! It's gonna be interesting when he gets to the second game. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
There's one more possibility. And that would be that the piggy bank was in fact the real weapon. The second game does have the best case. 2-4. Specifically 2-4. Nothing of note happens before 2-4, don't worry about it. But didn't we just... Hold it! Let me finish! The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time that the glass pane in the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see, so that means that the killer had the key to the display case. Franziska, the person you're talking about. Not so fast, I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain, and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure Shark is really going to love. Yeah, the use of Dahlia's theme was kind of funny. Phoenix Wright, basically, but in objection.lol. I like how it's showing the hotel room from 2-4. Yeah, that's where Mr. saw it. Fucking killed her. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak with her? Yes. Very well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her. Oh, you found them all? Awesome. Good work. But you are welcome to accompany me, if you so wish. Miss Tanaro is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Hold on. Okay, compared to Edgeworth, like... Compared to Edgeworth, I guess she's not too small? Hold on, can I line this up better? She looks realistically shorter than Edgeworth. Way shorter than Gumshoe. Gumshoe is like more than a head above her. She's also short compared to fucking Mr. LeBlanc. She's pretty small, but not like unrealistically small. Like my sister is pretty short. Like this is practically my sister's height. She's shorter than me, and I'm 5'6". Miss Tanaro is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. A blue door over there leads to the flight attendant's room, sir. Alright, let's go see what Miss Tanaro has to say for herself. So, you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Miss Tanaro. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too? Yeah, all you had to do was turn around like a normal person. Can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did? Alright. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. What do you mean? The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Meal. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Tanaro, is it? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the middle of the you were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please, answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well, Why the sudden hesitation? Franziska seems to have struck a nerve. All I did was go check up on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work, then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell. Mr. Nero claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. What am I asking her about? The suitcase? Yeah, I do. If you could please take a look at this for me, Mr. Nero. Oh, that suitcase. Yes, about this suitcase. You're the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase? Yes, well, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional, I'm not supposed to care. But I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see it was the last one there. The last one there? Who the fuck would buy these suitcases? If I recall correctly, they're stupidly expensive. So even if you were to take my advice and get it as like an intentionally ugly suitcase, you wouldn't like how much money you're spending on said ugly suitcase. You can get an ugly suitcase for much cheaper. So you're saying, Mr. Nero, that the suitcase in question was the last one. People buy Stanley cups? What do those look like again? Nah, this is fine. Design-wise, this is fine. I don't really have any big issue with Stanley Cups. I don't know how much they cost, or why people are so fucking obsessed with them. They're just cups. I guess it's a tulip mania situation. Whatever. Hold on. They got recalled for lead exposure? That's fucking funny. Hey Tammy, good to see you. Yes, they're just so popular, they're practically flying off the shelves. That's not exactly the impression I got. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase. Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you so much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. Then say you'll buy it. I'm sorry, I can't. But why? Uh-oh. Here comes the uncomfortable truth. I think it'd go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it personally as a service professional. Well, that is... How should I put this? It's hideous. What?! Maybe that was a bit too direct. Moving on, my issue with the suitcase isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it. Yeah, it is a really gross-looking suitcase. It looks really bad. 2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only 1. Looks like her story has generated quite the contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only 1 suitcase left. Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Miss Tenero, what is one of those suitcases doing here? I thought you said there was only 1 left. That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. $1,200! $1,200?! No! $1,200? No! Absolutely not! That's ridiculous! Rich people will buy anything. I would sooner buy a fucking PS5 Pro than this shit. An ugly-ass suitcase at $1,200? I could buy a VR headset. A good one. She used it for a long time. I think not. Mr. Nero, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. Excuse me? I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. Yeah, $60 would actually be, like, too expensive for how bad this looks. Can it store a fursuit? I mean, a lot of things can. Too bad fursuits have gotten stupidly fucking expensive. I am never going to be able to afford one. I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. Oh. What proves that this hasn't been used for nearly as long as Miss Tenero says? Yep, a Niv is being a Niv. Anyway. Yep, price tag's still on it. Tell me, Mr. Nero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about a suitcase? Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Mr. Nero, I think I understand. I know what you're trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in... Seeing as how the price tag is still on this suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought this suitcase was...
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Miss Tenero? I hate to say this, but this suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? I saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and you were deeply hurt. And that's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Then the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. A job where you must be really well paid if you're willing to blow $1,200 on a disgusting suitcase. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I had finally accomplished something. But the suitcase didn't sell. It's because of the design, isn't it? All because it's, as you put it, hideous. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either. We weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. Imagine all the commissions you could get for $1,200. Yeah, for $1,200 you could get a single Miles DF commission. I felt so bad seeing them there day in and day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked on. Yeah, just a sketch. You buy one every single time you work a flight? I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Every flight. That's... fucking crazy. Yes, and here's my receipt for that purchase. $1,200. $1,200 fucking dollars credit. $6:40 a.m. This receipt is clearly time-stamped. 5:40. 5:40? That's at 6. Maybe it's a 5? Hold on. It looked like a 6 to me. Okay, it is a 5. Alright, I guess it's just kind of low-res and blurry, so it confused me. Maybe it's pesos? Why would they be paying in pesos? Also, it says dollars right here. Just as Miss Tenero said, the timestamp says she bought the suitcase at 5:40 a.m. Can I please address the fucking price? The absolutely ridiculous price? The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight. Miss Tenaro, where are these other suitcases? They should all be down in the cargo hold. Then the suitcase the killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think that the killer used one of my suitcases too? Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body. How could they? Their suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be. You're weird. Mr. Naro, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator? The only other way is just through that door there. And what about security? That door has no special lock installed because just to enter this room, you need a special keycard that only crew members have access to. Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects. I can't believe it. Hold it. Oh, wait. Hold it! Yes, Franziska? Going on these wild goose chases. You're a disgrace to the Von Karma name. And what do you mean by that? The suitcase came from the cargo hold. That fact alone tells the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their keycard. Miles Edgebuff, you are proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct? Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. That other attendant, Miss Meal, I asked her earlier and she had this to say. Franziska got information out of Miss Meal. In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different keycard is required. A different one. Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenero, and only you. Ah! What? Is this true, Miss Tenero? Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times. Could you please show us that card right now? Yes, hold on. I don't believe it! What's wrong? The key card, it's gone. Very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. I don't know what the fuck her hair is. It's very weird. You really thought this through. Wait, it's not like that. You can tell us all about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Edgeworth. Why would a bolt have two nuts? What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Franziska, I know that you are the lead investigator on this case. However... Hold it. Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I. You are no stranger to love. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I intend to do likewise. Tenet reference? I never saw Tenet. I don't really think I will watch it. I kinda don't care. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? It's so big! Oh my god. Did she buy all of those? Okay, so including the missing one, that's 12. $1,200 times 12. What the fuck? Maybe... if it was like... Yeah, nope, it's $1,200 a suitcase. I thought maybe, oh, is each suitcase $100 and she just bought a bunch of them? Nope. Hey guys, can you not give me completely different numbers? You know I'm not good at math. Don't torture me like that. Again, I don't know if I buy the pesos thing. Yeah, that's 14,400. Tammy is the only one who gave me a correct answer. Shizno and Nerd, you two are banned. Fuck you. This plane is a special model. It has both super large cargo hold and ultra luxurious first class seating. So this is the real scene of the murder? There's certainly a high probability of that, which is why we're here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir. We're finally reaching the end of the fucking case. Yeah, I also just pulled up a calculator. Autism man. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So the suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we took a closer look. There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. Wait, a file? And there's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. It looks like a profile on Franziska. Why did Mr. Hicks have a file on her? Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. It sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. But no matter how he pulls on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And you then immediately began to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you were already here at this airport for something besides this murder. Yes, I was. I've been following a very large and involved governmental level international crime, but it's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Interpol. Franziska came to this airport as an Interpol liaison. Interpol is involved. It's a top secret operation, so I really can't tell you anything more than I already have. We... Didn't we just pick up, like, a profile? Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth! It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair! These must all be leftover ones they couldn't sell. Okay, I guess it was added as a logic piece, just not evidence. I think I just forgot about that. The ones the company is planning to dispose of after this flight is over. This paint job is really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy. Oh, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it will bring you much happiness. You think so? Then maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200! I think I'll pass. And Mr. Nero wonders why they don't sell. You'd need 2 jobs just to buy one. Although it definitely looks like one is missing. What is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? It's a bunch of glass fragments. I didn't know this plane was capable of carrying such large pieces of cargo. This thing's as tall as 2 of you on top of each other, sir. It would probably take 20 of you to cover the entire surface of this monstrosity. What, really? Yeah, I guess that sounds about right. There's really no need to take that throwaway estimate seriously, Detective. All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says flammable, and this one says pharmaceuticals. This one says for exorcism use only. Which Just what kind of operation is this airline running? Power of Christ compels you. Oh, I just love pressing buttons on elevators and crosswalk signals. Yeah, you should give it a try, sir. Go on, push it. The elevator is currently stopped on the first floor, Detective. It can't move. Oh yeah, I guess nothing would happen if you pushed it now. To be fair, Electrica, we performed an exorcism at the end of 3-5. Well, nothing would happen normally anyway without the special key card. Both the door to the attendance room and the elevator's control panels require a key card, which makes it impossible for a passenger to come down here. Have you noticed anything strange happening around here? No, sir. I haven't noticed a thing. I'm not sure he meant to sound so oblivious. Alright. Later, Shizno. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses' lens. Ergo, the victim was here just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Franziska? Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Franziska said that she had come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was in actuality Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Franziska has some explaining to do. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense! What are you talking about? We found a profile detailing information about you in the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks, isn't that correct? I should have known you'd figure it out, Miles. But it looks like they got to him first. So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent then? Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. He went undercover to investigate this crime, and it was I who put him on the case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we now have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. Ow! Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason, of that I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Franziska, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? No, unfortunately, I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see, but this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew, and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in.
Hold on, I need to check something.
Yes, and then he was murdered there. These glass fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then... the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases and... they entered the elevator.
Hold it. Pick it up. Yeah, I need to deal with something.
They entered the elevator, but while they were riding it up, the plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks' body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. Sorry, I have an angry commission scammer in my DMs. I got them banned from a Discord. Why did you do that? Did I try to scam you? Yeah, you did. Alright, block time. Bye-bye. I crossed his Raticate. Ooh, don't. Don't piss off Gary's Raticate, man. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. Why are we cringing at a Niv? What, really, sir? Raticate. The Pokemon Raticate? I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tennaro. Alright, well... we can finish this next time, because I said I would play Power Wash with a certain someone. And that certain someone is free to get into VC, enter the general chat, I will move you to stream talk. Just let me know when you're ready.